Okay, so now we're going to go through my actual pantry to give you a feel of what I actually do. So first I'll give you a quick look. And let's talk about some of these options. So first thing I want to remind you again, the name of the game is to consume as much protein as you can with the calories that you have allotted and to stay full. So like that's the name of the game. So anything that you see in the pantry that I don't point out, like maybe it's higher in calories. For example, these chicken flavored noodles that most people grew up on for like 15 or 20 cents. Like it's 400 calories for the pack of noodles. So that's something that's not typically a staple in my diet, but every once in a while, maybe once a month, like I will have a pack of noodles, right? But the name of the game is making sure that they fit within the calories that you have allotted. So that's that. So let's get to my staples that I use every day. The first thing we'll talk about the condiments. The first thing I like to use is these sugar-free sauces by G. Hughes. Now you have to be careful because not all of his sugar-free sauces are actually low in calories. Sometimes you substitute them with a lot of fats. But for example, I use this, and you'll see this in the meal that I'm going to make later. This is 5 calories for one serving. I typically use 4 servings, so 20 calories when I make my chicken stir fry. Sugars. For sugars, I typically never use regular sugar anymore. Even if I'm at a restaurant like Waffle House, I'm like, hey, give me sugar free. It's an acquired taste, but eventually you get used to it. But the benefit is, instead of having 120 calories every time you have one serving of sugar, you only have 15 calories. So I use sugar-free syrup. Peanut butter. I don't typically use this. I'm not the only one that live in this house. I don't use this. My wife uses it. And what I like to use is powdered peanut butter. And so for the powdered peanut butter, I can get 18 grams of protein for 150 calories when I use powdered peanut butter, as opposed to only 8 grams of protein and 180 calories when you use regular peanut butter. Now she doesn't use that much of it. She still only uses 1 serving. But even if you're using 1 serving, like 200 calories is a lot when you don't have many calories allotted for in your diet. Let's say you only have 1,800 calories that you need to hit. This is going to take 200 calories right off the bat. So it's better to use 1 or 2 servings of powdered peanut butter. So those are the condiments that are staples in my diet. Now let's talk about other things. You will see that I use flour tortillas a lot, and for these Mission, these are great value, but these are the ones that have a lot of fiber in it, and when you take the fiber into account, it reduces the number of calories overall for the tortilla. So these are 70 calories for 1 tortilla. A lot of people use the Joseph lavash breads to make their wraps. I prefer the taste of these flour tortillas over these Joseph lavash wraps, but there's benefit to using these because for one entire wrap is 120 calories because 1 serving is a half of the wrap, but 1 entire wrap is 120 calories, and you end up getting 12 grams of protein for 1 of these wraps. So that's why you see a lot of these in use on the internet, as opposed to 1 of these are only 5 grams of protein. But again, I prefer the taste, and if you're not going to like what you're eating, then what's the point of doing it? I do have these because when I have a taste for chicken nachos, this is what I use for my nachos. Speaking of chicken nachos, back to the sauces. G Hughes has barbecue sauces that are again low in calories. This is only 10 calories for one serving. So when I use this barbecue sauce on my chicken nachos, which includes fat-free cheese and other things that I'll show you in a second, and this barbecue sauce is like, it makes the nachos amazing. And you can find that recipe in my cookbook. As far as protein sources, like I said, I eat a lot of chicken breast, but a quick go-to when you don't have time to cook chicken breast, if you like it, you can easily have canned chicken. So one entire can is 3.5 servings for at least this size. If you have a Costco or a Sam's Club, you can find these types of chickens. And so this is 3.5 servings per container, and there's 13 grams of protein in one of these cans. So you get 36 grams of protein if you eat an entire can. Another staple, again, if you don't have time to cook, you can always use a can of tuna. This is 90 calories for one serving, serves two, so for 2 servings, 180 calories, you end up with 36 grams of protein. And tuna is a real quick, canned tuna is a real quick staple for me, because if I'm not cooking a chicken wrap, then I will just put a can of tuna in a bowl and put some light mayonnaise in it, put some relish in it, put some fat-free cheese, stir it up and put it on some wraps, throw some lettuce, throw some tomato in there, and then that's my substitute for a tuna wrap as opposed to a chicken wrap. Other things I wanted to point out, let's see, is like if you have enough calories and at the end of the day you want something that is sweet, this is an option. I'll typically stay away from it because it has 12 grams of sugar, which adds to the calories. But for 200 calories, you can have one of these packets and you get 10 grams of protein for one of these packets. 200 calories is a lot or a little, depending on the number of calories that you are trying to stay under. And then, as you will see when I make my French toast, I just use regular white bread. One slice is 60 calories, 2 slices 120 calories. So I'm not afraid of regular white bread. If you like wheat bread, then eat wheat bread, but they're about the same amount of calories. I prefer the taste of white bread. And again, if you don't enjoy what you're eating, then what's the point, right? And then every once in a while, when I get bored of something I'm eating in a dinner, I don't mind having these pastaronis. Now, because it serves 2.5, and as prepared, it says it's 280 calories. Now, as prepared includes 2 tablespoons of butter, number one. So I typically use the as packaged portion. So it's as packaged, it doesn't come with butter. So it's 190 calories per serving. So if I eat this entire box, which to be honest, sometimes I do. If I eat the entire box, then it's 400 calories as it's packaged. If I don't eat the entire box, then I measure out the amount of pasta in here. It's usually 4 ounces. And I take 2 ounces of the pasta, cook it, and I take half of the package that's in here, the packet that's in here, and I use that, and I only end up getting 190 calories if I use this with my meal. And the same goes for rice-a-roni. as long as you are careful with the way you prepare it. Like, I've had it taste great without butter, so I don't use butter. So it's a way to save yourself a bunch of calories. So that's it for the pantry. Let's move to the refrigerator.